So far as you just looking at these kids and trying to get an idea of what additional talent you have, and at the same time just continuing to install your system and coach it and make it work.
Yeah, this weekend's all about giving these guys an introduction to how we do things. You know, your process, your meeting room process, your field process of how you get off the ball, how you finish, all those types of things. Setting the standards is what this weekend's all about, and then you get a little flavor of how the guys move and stuff, and you start thinking about how you might implement some of these guys into what we're already doing. But as far as when the other guys get here, yeah, we're cruising along and continuing with the process with the vets that'll be back here tomorrow.
Is it difficult to take too much out of it until you see them on the field with the vets and have a better comparison?
Yeah, I think so. I think like I said, the biggest thing you want to do is teach them the process so that when they get out there, the vets already know the standard, and they're already setting that standard. So when they get out there, they'll have a chance to keep up with these guys. Mentally, they got a ways to go. So we'll make sure we give them an opportunity to succeed when they get some reps on the field, when they get back in a couple weeks. But by no means will they be able to be where our vets are right now.
Luke, as you started watching film on Velus and started to get to know what he could do, what did you like about how he could fit with your offense?
No, one, physically, he's a physically mature dude. He can handle this league. You can see that already. And then the speed just jumped at you on the tape. When that guy gets the ball in his hand, he looks like 4'3" on the field. Not many guys can do that, and I think that's what stood out about this guy. He has a chance to score every time he touches the ball.
How does it help for you to have somebody like him that he's not just an X receiver? He's somebody that you can move around a lot. What does that versatility do for you?
Well, that's what the whole offense is built around, the versatility of everybody. So we want versatile guys that can do a bunch of different things, give us an opportunity to do a bunch of different things with each guy. So we don't want just one guy that can run down the field. We don't want just one guy that can run a choice route. We want guys that can do a bunch of different things. So, he definitely has that versatility, so that's really cool. That was fun to see this weekend.
What were your impressions of working with him for the first time? Obviously, you've scouted him, you've seen him on tape, I'm sure you even met with him, but being out there on the field and in the meeting room, what was that like with Velus?
Yeah, he's all business, man. He came in a suit. He was ready to go. He takes great notes, bought his own whiteboard, and he came in ready. He was focused, and he's a business approach, so I'm excited. I think he's somebody that's going to be all in, focused in, trying to figure everything out, and it's a lot for all those guys right now. But I love the way he came in, his approach.
What do you want to learn before the conclusion of the off-season program in your role?
What do I want to, I think there's a lot that I want to learn. But the biggest thing is that these guys feel really good about the system. I really believe that if they can have, that first and second stage of learning the system, that way when we get back in training camp, we can really dive into the details. And then it's just about when you get to training camp, getting better every single day. So give them an opportunity to be able to do that. I want to make sure that they got everything they need before they leave.
So when you're putting in this system, are they mostly watching Packers tape? What are you showing them for the install?
A lot of stuff, honestly. Yeah, we're watching tape from all the way back in 2010. There's a bunch of stuff. So we got a really good staff. Everyone's been able to come in and implement things that they like and introduce things that they like. And that's, like I said, this isn't my offense. This is our offense. And we got a really good staff on offense. So I'm taking a piece from everybody and everyone's experiences, and we're making everything that we do the best that we can to fit the players that we have.
When we did a Zoom with you in what I guess is Super Bowl week, we'd asked about the playbook, and you said, listen, I want to learn all I can about Justin, and before I even kind of commit to that, what have you learned about Fields in your time with him, and how is that reflected in the elements of, I don't want to say playbook, but of your scheme that you're trying to teach?
No, I've been super impressed with him. I really have. There's no one in this building that works harder than him. There's no one that cares more than him. So we're off to a great start, and he's really accepted this challenge. We're asking a lot of him to learn a lot of new things, and he's been a pleasure to work with.
How did he show you that, or how did you learn that about him, and how would you describe kind of the partnership that you two have as the person in charge of the offense and the guy who needs to make it?
No, that's extremely important. I was raised on that the play caller and the quarterback have to have a great relationship, and that's important. And we have to be on the same page always. And that's where I've really been, where I felt like he's grown is he's communicating with me so well now. things that he's feeling, things that he sees. And so that part of it has just been tremendous for a young guy to be able to do that. And, these 3 or 4 months we've been together now, it's been a lot of fun.
You guys,
How important is it with the run game and being able to bolster that around a second-year quarterback and giving him more tools, more than just like receivers?
Yeah, no, it's the whole thing. We emphasize 11. It's 11 as one every single play. It doesn't matter if we're in the run game, pass pro, or we're throwing the rock. I mean, it's 11 as one. It takes all 11. And for a young quarterback, implementing that around him, I mean, that's huge. So if you can run the ball, that helps you in your play pass game, and you have to avoid. The hardest part of this game is dropping back to pass. It's simple. I mean, plain and simple. That's the hardest thing to do in this league. And so if you don't have to do that as often, then you got a chance.
Luke, how do you feel about the wide receivers you have on this roster right now, and how they can benefit Justin in his development?
No, I think everything's been going really well so far. I think the relationship with Justin has been really good too. Some of these new guys that have come in the building that didn't even know Justin before, they've all connected really well. Things have been getting better every single day. I mean, the routes that we get to throw during the week, and implementing some of that stuff on air. I mean, all that stuff has been really good, and I'm really impressed. Can't wait to see these guys run around again in OTAs. Just that mini camp, everything was so new and everything. Guys were spinning a little bit still. I feel like everyone's got a really good grasp of what's going on right now. So it'll be fun to watch them in OTAs.
How do you feel about Borum and Jenkins, knowing that you really can't look at them until pads go on in training camp?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's with any offensive lineman, right? But I think as far as their mindset, their approach every single day, I'm excited about them. I think they both have a really good chance this year to show what they're made of. And, we're trying to set a mentality up front. And I think both of those guys are good leaders for that, for sure.
Brad said you can't really evaluate offensive linemen until the pads come on in training camp. But with that said, when training camp does start, what are your expectations for the offensive line? What will you be looking at in terms of evaluating them, and how competitive do you think it'll be for starting jobs?
Well, it should be extremely competitive. That's at every position. I mean, that's what we're in here doing every single day, is giving guys an opportunity to compete. There's no jobs that are locked up right now, and so when you get the pads on, that's when the real ball starts. So everything will be evaluated about that, right? I mean, the way that they get off the football, the way they execute, their mentality, their finish, all that stuff's going to get evaluated. So I'm excited to see that. We still got a ways to go. We got another, phase that we have to take in order to be able to be prepared for that opportunity. So got another month or so to give these guys some more work and some more information.
When it comes to the wide receiver core, do you get it that Bears fans are a little nervous about the lack of a Allen Robinson, Devontae Adams type of multi-year proven number one receiver in this group?
Yeah, I mean, that's, fans will, of course, everybody wants Devontae Adams. Who wouldn't want Devontae Adams, right? That's part of it, but Devontae wasn't Devontae until he became Devontae, right? And so I think the system will enable some of these guys to play at their potential. And so we'll see what we can do. We'll give them an opportunity to show them what they got.
I think a lot of the questions with the wide receivers, it's not that they're not good or anybody wants to dog them. It's the lack of playing and starting experience. And I'm wondering, in the need to develop Justin, how concerned are you that not having that consistency around him can limit his growth?
Well, I think we're in a situation where it's more like my experiences are when you're new to a quarterback rather than how much ball you've played in this league. And I think we have enough guys on this team that have played a lot of ball in the league. I think it's just that experience of playing with the quarterback and, teaching him, the body languages that the signals you want to send to him when you're ready to make a break. And so all that stuff, you can see that happening every single day, how much more comfortable these guys are getting and how much more comfortable Justin is getting with those guys. So I'm excited. It's been getting better every single day. I'm excited to see where these guys can go.
One of the questions that we get from fans all the time is, what is this new offense going to look like? How would you describe it?
Well, hopefully, when you watch us, it's 11 as one, and it's we're firing off the football better than anybody else in this league, and we're finishing better than everybody else in this league. Those are the things that we're talking about every single day. We're taking care of the football, we're getting off the rock, and we're finishing better than anybody else in this league. And so that's our mentality. That's our purpose. We can do that. We got a chance.
Luke, when you guys bring in a person like Velus Jones, and he doesn't have the offensive production that some other receivers did at that spot, how do you view it just in terms of his utilization? Because Ryan Poles told us, want to use him here, there, everywhere. do you look at that as we have more opportunity than he would have in this college scheme to maybe tap into a part of his skill set that hasn't been utilized yet?
I guess so. I think the biggest thing is, as when they get here, when guys get here, whether they're a vet or whether they're not, when you get on the practice field and you see what they do best, it's about tapping into that for each player, not just Velus, but each guy. And so if Velus shows that he can handle more, then he's going to get more. But it's about each and every single guy on our team. We got to tap into what they do best, and I think that'll give us an opportunity to be the kind of offense that we all want to see.
I mentioned you played a role in St. Brown being signed. How do you see him, provided he can stay healthy, what can he do for you?
No, I thought EQ had a tremendous year last year in his growth and maturity from where he was to where he is now. I was really excited that we were able to snag him up because I just think that all his best football is ahead of him. So I'm excited to see. He's one of those guys again. Talk about a big body, a guy that can run, and his toughness and all that stuff, and everything that we're gonna preach in this system. I mean, he's that expectation. He's that leader of that mindset.
For you personally being in this role, what's been the biggest learn so far, just doing it every day?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
For you in this role, what's been the biggest learn to this point for you just doing it every day and kind of settling into this what you're expected to be?
I mean, there really hasn't been that moment where I'm like, I felt that. I really haven't. I've been very lucky to be around, the way Coach McCarthy had it set up and the way Coach LaFleur has it set up. Collaborative effort is kind of the biggest thing, and so I'm following suit there. I got really good staff that I love working with, and they all work their butts off, and they're all really smart, good football coaches, great teachers. And so that part of it has been great. Honestly, I've been very blessed to have those guys in that room, and I was fortunate enough to be two different sets of groups up there in Green Bay that have drawn up very similarly.
Your first impressions of Cole Kmet, and then I'm kind of curious how you envision what your view of the tight end position is and how he kind of can fit that.
No, I've been very impressed with Cole. Again, that mindset that we're trying to set, he's been a great example of that as well. And you go back to that thing we talked about before, that just the ability to do the flexibility of a player. I mean, I think he has all that stuff. So I'm excited to see him have a bunch of different rules in our offense. And some players that are out there, they're kind of like this is what they do well. But I think the more guys you can get in the system that can do a bunch of different things, the more success you're going to have. And I think Cole's one of those guys.
In what ways do you want to see Justin grow between now and training camp?
Oh, I mean, man, there's a lot. I mean, he's we're working through this thing step by step. We're making sure that we master. In order to master our craft, we have to be able to master each step. And so we're staying on track. I think he's, if anything, ahead of pace. And I'm real excited to see by the end of this thing if we're just going to keep knocking out these steps. That's all.
How far are you up the staircase right now?
We're climbing. We're climbing. We're climbing. That's all that matters. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.